This episode of The Casual is brought to you in part by Squarespace. For all your website needs, Squarespace delivers it in an all-around package to help you build a beautiful, integrated online presence.
When it comes to being overrated in fashion, it's most likely due to an inordinate amount of hype for a label whose deliverables don't always equal its infamy. And while I'm a strong proponent of do what you do to make your life as financially secure as possible, i.e. get the bag, these next brands are the epitome of way too much love for what you actually get. And with that, I'm Reggie Casual, and these are 7 of the most overrated street brands, we're going street-centric today, street brands of recent years. Let us get it. All right, so we start with the obvi, right? Supreme. Go ahead and fix these glasses real quick. I mean, we get it, right? I'm not gonna go on and on about how Supreme is overrated because by this point, we all know Supreme has been, for the better part of 3 or 4 years now, overrated. I suppose the big reason why it's being mentioned is because it's one of those labels that didn't need to be overrated. So you see, I'm coming back right now. I'm gonna go back a little bit. It's a skate label at heart. And as we've seen over the last few drops, it's slowly trying to build that skate culture credibility again. That said, Supreme became overrated when the masses followed the one thing that looked the most like streetwear to them. So they didn't totally understand it. The brand itself became overrated because everybody started adopting the Supreme model. And it just started a cluster F of ridiculous stuff. Obviously, we're going with Bape. I mean, this is another gimme. You guys who've been here for a while already know how I feel about Bape. But if you haven't been here, I'm about to tell you. As much as I respect Nigo and what he built, Bape's time has been up for a while. That watch is gone. You lost it. Sure, Bapes and hoodies still have their place in the grand scheme of things, but those are the only pieces you actually see frequently in the wild. People be wearing Bape hoodies with H&M jeans, right? Like, this is my $300 hoodie, but I'm gonna rock these fast fashion jeans because, you know, I spent all the money on the Bape hoodie. But even with that, people still swear by the label. Even with the departure of Nigo, which everybody still complains about, the questionable collabs that they do, Minions, the manufactured scarcity, they keep making the same thing over and over and just making it limited, the obvious pandering and lowbrow cultural emptiness that has been on display for the better part of 10 years now. Nigo is gone. So all of that cultural cachet it has, I'm not saying Bape is bad, but part of the reason it's problematic is that it overshadowed a large part of what makes Japanese street fashion special. And as a result, many people get weirded out when they come to Japan and the streets aren't filled with Bape heads all over the place. They're like, where are they all at? Like, they're not there because Japanese people don't really buy Bape. If you come here during like the summer, the tourists are making a beeline for the Bape store like it's the last place on earth. Like, it's the only place that is available. Bape is there. Bape is also available in the West. You don't have to go to Japan to go to the Bape store. That's just my, it's my advice to you. All right, so we got those two knocked out. We already knew that those were gonna be on the list. Come on, we all knew that. You knew Reggie was gonna do it. So let's go to some less obvious ones. And we're gonna start with VLONE. That's right, we used to call it VLONE, but it's actually VLONE, right? So since day one, ASAP Bari's brainchild was bound to be a success, popular, whatever. It had the backing of the ASAP mob, and it came at the perfect time when social media, fashion, and music were at their apex. This was pre-COVID, when everything was crazy. The brand even became a hit in Japan and frequently did collabs here. But let's break it down. What does the brand actually have besides a few notable collabs and arguably an iconic t-shirt? Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, it did have that 2018 runway that honestly looked like what everyone was wearing anyway at the time. So while I applaud that success, it really wasn't moving the needle in any direction. You guys were already wearing that stuff. Simply, VLONE was an obvious product of celebrity culture and used it for its laser-focused marketing. Problem is, if you don't evolve past that, my business mind coming in, you're bound to become stagnant or even worse, irrelevant. It also doesn't help when conduct unbecoming of a business owner is exposed to the world. Next up is Anti-Social Social Club. The Ass Club. What can I say? The trolliest brand to ever launch, even with all its problems. People went nuts over this brand for a time, lining up all over the place. And if my sources are correct, people are still wearing this brand unironically. Now combine all that all right? Just think about that. Now add this. Asian American dude who used to work for Stussy in marketing, typical, makes streetwear brand about being antisocial and celebs like Ye are wearing it. It's a literal recipe for overratedness. Anyone could have done this. In fact, many of you have made Antisocial Social Club. You just didn't know anybody like Neek knew people. And I know someone out there is gonna be like, man, you just don't get it. You don't get it, you don't understand. Oh, I get it. I certainly get it. It was done on purpose. Like I said, it's a trolly brand. But when the only person benefiting from this troll is the owner, then the joke is on the people who don't get it and the people who do get it and still buy it. Now we're not done, we got 3 more. However, let's get into word from our sponsor, Squarespace.
A big part of fashion is community, and building a fashion brand or any business requires a strong one. That's why using Squarespace for your new website might be the way to go. Besides being packed with great website templates, built-in SEO and analytics, Squarespace's new members areas make it easy to create, foster, and grow a community of true fans. Give back by giving members exclusive content, discounts, and much more, all while monetizing your business. So use our code squarespace.com/thecasual to save 10% off of your first website and let Squarespace help you build your brand, business, and community.
All right, so at the 3 spot, we got Off-White. Now I'm gonna preface this. Listen, I will say nothing bad about the late great Virgil Abloh. He was an exceptional thought leader in his field. I'm being serious right now. And he was an accomplished individual, and by all accounts, generally a good guy. I've had my gripes with his design skills in the past, admittedly, and I still stand by those. I ain't gonna switch it up just because. But the man himself was accomplished, and I will forever respect him for that. I am entitled to my opinion though. If I like, I'm allowed to not like certain things, okay? We all are. All that said, Off-White took what Hood by Air did, stripped away the questionable gender-bending themes everyone was so scared of, sprinkled a little bit of Supreme in there, added some Italian manufacturing, and dropped the first flagship right in the middle of Hong Kong. And then another one in Tokyo, in Minami Aoyama. I've been to that store several times. Off-White, for all its flaws, is actually made incredibly well as far as construction, but what it delivered was a loud, often obnoxious version of streetwear and peddled it off to people who could afford it, essentially making it streetwear for rich kids. And then the kids who weren't rich wanted what the rich kids wanted, making the rich kids the proprietors of style, which I have a major problem with that one. But this wasn't Virgil's fault. It really wasn't. This was the MO, the modus operandi of New Guards Group, the company that ran the large part of Off-White's marketing process. It's a high street brand. It's already pre-made for you, so you don't have to be creative. But at the same time, you know, if you go head to toe in Off-White, it's tacky. And how many people did that? At the 2 spot, we got Palm Angels. I know this is gonna make some people mad, because there are a crap ton of Palm Angels fans out there, and they are rabid. Dogs.
I came out into the front yard and the dogs were across the road. And as soon as they saw me, they came bounding over.
Wolves, I'll call you wolves. Wolves are cooler than, I don't know, dogs are pretty cool. But I'm gonna keep this short. Palm Angels does nothing new. It's literally Off-White with a reskin. It's the Fortnite of fashion brands. And it makes sense because, oh wow, it's also a New Guards Group alum. I believe it is. Seriously, I have nothing else to add here and I don't care about the blowback. I don't care, right? Like half the naysayers out there are gonna be like, it's cause you ain't got the money to buy Palm Angels, dog. I got that cake, that's why I bought. Like really, dog, that's the reason why, that's exactly why things get overrated. If you're using fashion as a way to signal to other people you have money, I guess that does make sense. That does make sense because fashion, a lot of luxury fashion is like all about that. Like I have, yeah, so I get it. Okay, all right. It's still overrated, but I get why. So I had to actually come to that conclusion as I was making the episode. How about that? That's good. I should have came to that conclusion much sooner. What's going on? And finally, the most overrated brand on our list for today. And it's gonna pain me to say this, but I gotta do it. Fear of God Essentials. Yep, I said it. Now I get it. Fear of God Essentials is not bad. It's actually quite good. It feels great. Silhouettes are pretty solid, and I've even purchased a few pieces myself. But let's not act like it's actually hard to get something similar for about 1/4 the price. But therein lies the point. Essentials was never meant to be hyped. It's meant to be timeless, but the propensity to make things hype in this age has made it glaringly overrated, that is essentials, as a concept. Again, it's not bad, but it's nothing you can't do, and acting like it somehow adds to your style because it is fog essentials or because it's plastered across your chest on your back is problematic. Granted, there are unique pieces, and I personally applaud those, but the fog essentials hype is just a microcosm of the problem we see in the fashion world in its entirety. That is, an increasingly dependent populace that needs permission from influencers, brands, and celebs on what they are allowed to wear to seem on the end or fashion forward. What it does is it stagnates creativity and it makes people believe that they have to look like something in order to get people to notice what they're wearing. So that's it. Those are our overrated street brands. So what are some other street-centric brands you believe are overrated, or do you disagree with some of these lists, or did we mess up? Whatever, let your thoughts be known in the comments. All that, don't care. It's a conversation. Join us on Patreon if you want to support the channel and get extra content, but most importantly, keep it locked right here for all of your info in international fashion culture and business from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu, and I'll see you guys in a minute. I have to keep fixing my glasses. Isn't that weird? じゃあ今日はここまでです。